Peace, love, and about our hair grease, y'all. What is good? This is Shy the Sage, returning for another amazing video. Yes, I have been going for a while. I'm not even going to bother giving y'all an explanation because I'm living on Earth. When you living on Earth, you get busy, okay? But I am here because I wanted to make this video. I delayed it for 3 weeks. I recorded it 3 weeks ago. I didn't like it because I was super high and I felt like I wasn't communicating my words correctly. So fast forward to now, I want to do this video again, okay? I'm titling this video Young Dolph and the Timeline Shift, okay? This video is long overdue, so I want to go ahead and get into it, okay? Basically, you all know that the Memphis rapper Young Dolph, he died I believe mid-November, and of course it impacted me very hard because, as I mentioned in my videos, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that Young Dolph was literally my favorite rapper. I feel like the forces who are against our spiritual growth, I think that they are working overtime because I'm never affected by celebrity deaths. Anything that has to do with the media, I don't really give it too much attention. I might be nosy, you know, peek over from the higher to the lower, just, hey, what y'all doing? Okay, go back. But I never stay and engage or get emotionally invested. But this really took a really toll on me. And I'm glad that I'm in a better state of mind to actually do this video, because for the last couple months I have been a little emotional and his death has affected me. Now, I'm gonna give you a disclaimer. I don't care how you feel about Young Dolph. Keep your opinions to yourself. This is my shit. You clicked on my page, and whatever reaction that you want in the comments, you will not be getting them from me. So if you want to gaslight me, if you want to make me mad, if you're one of those type of people who like to get responses or anger, very powerful women like myself, take that shit somewhere else, because we're not doing that, okay? Firstly, I did want to point out to the fact that his death was definitely something that was not supposed to happen. I feel like the series of events leading to his death were a cause from a timeline shift, okay? I felt this shift, and I think I contributed to this shift in this new reality and this new timeline after I got my nose pierced. And things just felt different after I got my nose pierced, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I changed a pathway a little bit. I feel like I entered a new reality, and getting my nose pierced is the weirdest thing to describe. I can't describe it, okay? But I definitely feel like Young Dolph's death was not supposed to happen. That's something that was completely random. And that really got to make me thinking, like, who is really running this show that we call life? Who are really these forces behind the veil? And after evolving and after doing my own expansion, because a lot of the times when I'm away, I'm doing my own expansion, and I realized that I still had stuff from my childhood and old beliefs that I was holding on to, but I didn't realize I was holding on to them. So like I said, a lot of times when I'm away, I'm working on my stuff because I don't feel comfortable coming here and telling y'all what y'all should do on your path to become enlightened or the highest potential of yourself spiritually. And then I'm not really at my best self, not in my mental frame, not actually putting two and two together and implementing those things. That doesn't feel right to me. So I have to do the work so I can confidently tell y'all, this is the way I did it, this is the way you should do it, and this is the results that you're gonna get, okay? I do believe Young Dolph was brought into my consciousness for a lot of things. There's a definite similarity between him and I. He is a Leo sun, I am a Leo Mars. So naturally, I'm attracted to his self-expression, okay? And just even things in his life, or just observing his life, because I observed him over the years, okay? Observing him over the years, I understand him dealing with envy, or him not being able to trust people, or people just wanting to be you when you're just being yourself. being betrayed by people that you love due to jealousy, being betrayed by family members, being betrayed by friends. Those are the things about him that I relate to, and I think that why he was brought into my consciousness in this lifetime. Okay. Also, I think another similarity we did have was his way of doing his own thing. Okay. I think he was pulling from his Aquarius polarity. So, you know, Leo and Aquarius are opposite signs, right? They both represent the same thing, but different polarities. I've explained this before. You know, he was very notorious for not signing deals, signing contracts, and people keep saying he was signed to Empire. He was not signed to Empire. Empire just took care of his Empire just distributed his music. Okay, he has all titles and masters to his music. Okay, so there's no issue with that. So even when I did meet him last March, I did bring that up, like, hey, I really do appreciate you for not folding, for actually sticking to your guns, and for actually sticking to your sticking to yourself, knowing your self-value, and sticking to your basically sticking to your values and not signing deals, not doing what other rappers do. And that's one thing I really did love about him. He the type, I don't fuck with these niggas, I don't like these niggas, so me and my crew, we just gonna be over here. If you fuck with me, but we gonna get a dap, and that's it. Like, I like that he wasn't in the mix like that. He wasn't no clout chaser. I remember this other time, I could just tell the difference between him and his crew and other rappers. I was in San Diego about 2018, 19, something like that. I got invited, I went to a strip club to, I guess they had an after party, we performed at the strip club, and one of his people in his crew, they invited me to sit in his VIP section. I think it was his cousin or something, his cousin named Apple. She was a really, really nice lady, pregnant lady, real sweet, you know. She came over, she grabbed me, she was like, hey, you know, I like the way you look, you ain't being a groupie, yada, 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 come sit with us. Bam, cool, come sit with Dolph and Paper Empire. So that was cool, but, you know, Blueface was also at that club too, and that nigga was doing too much. Nigga was rapping on bars, dancing on bars and shit, and everybody in Paper Empire looking at this nigga like crazy. And I don't even think they even spoke to each other. Like, Dolph not speaking to somebody like Blueface, like, they not on the same level. So I get it. Like, I loved him because he was exclusive. He knew who to share his energy with, who not share his energy with, instead of just being in every rapper face because it's the industry and that's what you're supposed to do. So one thing I did admire about him, okay? So I did appreciate that he, part of his purpose was coming in here was to express his creativity. I tell all Leo sons, if you have your sun sign in Leo, same thing with Key Glock. Key Glock is also a Leo, so they both have the similar purposes, but it's different because Key Glock got different stuff in his birth chart too. I looked. So when you're a Leo sun, I always encourage people with this placement, your purpose is to bring something creative to the world and then get recognition for it. That's why you could say the stereotype for Leo is wanting a lot of attention, needing admiration, because really that affirmation comes from them giving the world something, whether it's children, because Leo does rule children. Leo views their children literally as the heir to their throne, the heir to their legacy, the things that they're leaving behind, so they take pride in their children. Leo, like I said, creates something that the world didn't know they need, but they create it and they give it to the world, and in response the world gives them their affirmation. It's similar to, you know, when you look at the sun in the constellation of Leo, kind of the attributes is kind of the same thing. The sun is literally the center force of our whole solar system. It's the thing that shines and really that keeps us alive, and kind of similar with Leo. So they have to shine by giving something, right? And that's what he did. Even when I saw him perform again on that same day, I can tell he really enjoyed what he did. He really loved his music. I went to a show one time. I think he completely went off script off the songs that he was supposed to perform, and he was just telling his DJ, play this song, play this song, play this song. And I could tell he was just really enjoying himself, not rushing to get off stage, because he really loved his music. He really took pride in his music, and the fact that he shared it with the crowd and the crowd engaging, I can tell he was soaking it up. He loved it. Like, he was like, I can really do this shit all day. Like, I can do it all day. I can do it all day because that's something he loved to do. That was his art. That was his work. Okay. So if you're a Leo, you need to do something like that. You need some type of creative project to give to the world so you can have that feeling. Okay. Because that's how you know you're in alignment of your purpose. Now the downside, and this is in conjunction with his death, the downside of that, and I'm not blaming everything on his zodiac sign. I'm just using a form of his ego, or a form of his humanity, a form of his humanity, excuse me. I'm using his form of his humanity to kind of connect the dots so y'all can kind of understand. Because like I said, you can see astrology can manifest in many forms, right? You got your tropical, your sidereal, and your draconic. Okay, so I'm talking about tropical astrology, the basic stuff, you in the 3D and the 4D. Okay. So on the downside of that, I think his negative attributes of the Leo archetype did lead to his death. One of them was stubbornness. Okay. I think I watched the interview where he expressed that his bodyguards really kind of get on him a lot for just going places by himself. But he doesn't listen. If you know a fixed sign, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, they rock to the beat of their own drum. They are fixed. Okay, the fixed signs are the sustainers in society, or the sustainers in the solar system, right? So after you have cardinal signs, you always have fixed signs. Fixed signs are meant to sustain things for long periods of time. So this is why you have the cardinal signs that come before Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, because those are the initiates. Okay, they will be like the people who built a business but might not have to run the business, might not know how to run the business, so they get a fixed sign who knows how to run the business, who knows how to keep it steady and stable over the years, right? I think he was definitely aware that his stubbornness did lead to his death, because upon his death, I think he was caught off guard. A lot of his habits did lead to his death as well. I don't think he was sober. He's never sober most of the time. Human flaw, addiction. Trust me, I struggle with addiction too. So I understand. So around the time of his death, he wasn't sober. Probably was smoking and drinking lean like he mostly does. And I think his egotism, you know, Leos can be egotistical on the shadow self. I guess that's their, you can say negative extreme, right? So his egotism definitely was his Achilles heel. But I think, like I said, I think now that he's passed over, sometimes I tap into his spirit. I think he's at peace, and I think he's taking accountability for all the steps that led to his death. Okay. And how I know that is because when I first found out about it, I first found out about his death through my mentor. My mentor and my friends, they know I love young Dolph. She was the first person that told me. I was on the couch watching Fresh 48, ironically, right? Well, coincidentally, that's a coincidence. That's not irony, right? And yeah, she told me about his death, and I was upset, but it's like, it wasn't like a sharp pain that I usually have when I hear, sorry about y'all hear noise. I got cats. I got two, and they follow me everywhere, and they just like playing in my room for some reason. But yeah, so when I first heard about his death, I felt at peace, but I was still hurt about it. But I can tell that I can tell that it was a different type of peace compared to King Von's death. I don't know if y'all remember King Von's death. I think it happened in late 2020. Yeah, King Von's death happened in late 2020. King Von's death, I took a little bit harder because I know when he transitioned, he didn't know what happened or knew what to do, okay? But I feel like when Dolph transitioned and when I found out about it, like I said, I was hurt, but I didn't like initially bust out in tears like I did with King Von. I didn't cry because King Von died. I cried because this nigga he didn't know what happened. Like, he literally didn't know what happened, and he was lost and confused, and I felt that, but I didn't feel that with Dolph. So that's how I know he was at peace. Mind you, I knew kind of something was off with the way he was moving, because the last 4 or 5 years, this has been his pattern the last 4 or 5 years, right? He drops it now. He drops one album per year. Always drops one album a year. Drops one album per year. Couple months later, he announces, you know, the tour dates to his show. In the meantime, in between time, before he does that, you know, he goes to clubs, promotes around this country, promotes his album and stuff like that. He does his shows, and he performs most of his, he performs the songs from his latest album that he just dropped. After his tour is over, he chills. He chills until next year. Then next year, he does the same thing. All right, drop an album, announce the tour date. In the meantime, between time, before the tour date, club, promote, tour date, chill, repeat, right? But 2021, I noticed he was moving different. He dropped 2 albums in 1 year. And when he dropped that second album, 2021, I knew something was off, because I'm like, you ain't never did this before. There's something going on. There's something about him that's changing, okay? And I think last year, he came to King of Diamonds twice. Like I said, he don't never pop out. He like being home. Like, he don't never pop out like this. So why is he doing this? And I understand it, his personal reasons, financial reasons. I feel like, yes, he had the money, but I think he wanted more, or he didn't feel satisfied. I don't think he felt satisfied with what he had. And even though he had money stashed, he was kind of spending money really fast and then making it back instantly. And I think this distribution deal with Atlantic kind of forced him to get out of his routine that he doesn't normally do. So that's what I thought was off. And I feel like him doing that kind of put him in a vulnerable frequency position, because around that time he dropped that album, it's literally around that time he be chilling. Like, you should be at home chilling. Like, this is not what you do, right? So I think he went against his natural flow, and then he passed. Like I said, y'all might think I'm crazy, but I'm a great observer. And like I said, I really feel connected to this man. I don't know why, but I feel like this is what was happening. This is why I pieced the shit together. I meditated on. I feel like this was what was happening. Okay. Now, to the meat and potatoes in regards to the timeline. Like I said, I don't think him dying was something that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't think that was a part of the divine plan. So that's been really making me thinking lately. Like, as I've been expanding and growing, I've been looking at time different. I've been really, truly understanding time. Not just, oh, time is an illusion. That sounds nice and sounds deep, but I've been really getting to the nitty gritty details, studying the quantum jumping, studying quantum physics, studying how you can shift your timeline through your emotions. I've been really hacking this shit, okay? Like, I feel like a mad scientist, and I'm really starting to crack it, right? So I don't think his death was supposed to happen. His death was super sad. That's something on the certain timeline that was not supposed to happen at all. So it really got me thinking, what is this dimension? What the hell is we doing? What are we consider real or not? What is this reality, right? And I've came to the conclusion that nothing matters. And I think I said this before. Nothing matters. Nothing fucking matters. I really think that individually, until you become aware and conscious of and when I mean aware and conscious, I don't mean like Black History conscious, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day conscious. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about understanding that this carbon-based organism that we call a body is not real, and there is something residing in you, moving this carbon-based body, giving and interacting in what we call life. Okay, that's what I mean, right? The only thing that matters is balance. Dolph's death happening, I really do believe that there's nothing really guiding this. I'm not an atheist, okay? I'm not an atheist, but I do believe there are two forces that keep things in balance. There's a force that allows bad things to happen, and then there's another force that's kind of guiding this plane or this dome or whatever the fuck we are to tetrahedron or hexagon. I don't give a damn if the earth is flat, round, I don't care. I'm just trying to leave here because I'm tired. But anyway, Then there's a counteracting balance. There's a counteracting force that makes sure everything's in balance. So when all the bad stuff happens, there's also some good in the world, so that this isn't a complete hellhole. So even though there are floods, hurricanes, deaths, pedophiles, kidnappers, even though those things do exist, I really think there is an opposing force that makes sure that shit don't get out of hand, where things in this plane are completely in balance. And there's also, I just thought about this before I even start recording this video. It also makes me think about the TV series on Disney Plus, Loki. Loki deals with time travel, and I started to understand time through watching that show, because if you ever seen that show, basically Loki made a time loop after he got captured the first time. After the first Avengers, when they put him in cuffs and to Tesseract, he ended up escaping and creating a time loop. So even though on a certain timeline on the Marvel Universe timeline, Loki is dead, but on another timeline he diverted into another existence where he still exists. This is what I'm saying. Like for example, let me show you. This is, I'm gonna try to make it as I possibly can. This is the Marvel timeline, right? Or this is our timeline. Same thing with Dolph, right? This is our timeline. Shit's supposed to flow, la-di-la-di-la-di-la. Something happened. Maybe somewhere right here. This is where Loki escaped. Okay, he created some type of time loop and made him go into another dimension with the timekeepers. The timekeepers are basically a group of agency group outside of the dimension of normal time that makes sure that this timeline goes in accordance of the will of the timekeepers. So apparently Loki was in trouble because him escaping or him not being arrested upset the timeline of everything, and the timekeepers was displeased, so they had to come and arrest him. It's crazy. Watch the show. But then Loki had said something that I was thinking the whole time, and I'm glad that he thought it, because this is probably the same shit I would have said. He asks, as he's getting, interrogated, because it's really like an FBI agency, but for time travel, right? As he's being interrogated, he was just like, well, who the hell are these timekeepers, and who made them in charge of the series of how time flows? And nobody knew. And then come to find out, spoiler alert, the timekeepers were fake the whole time, and these people were just fucking with reality based on their own. Well, you find out, but go watch the show, you'll get what I'm talking about. But that's kind of like the same thing of what happened. So my thing is, we literally living in a free-for-all. I swear to God, there's no Jesus, there's no Allah. And I think this is the most enlightening thing that you can really understand, but it's also the scariest thing, because you have to make sure that you are creating your own reality. People just don't tell you that for no reason, just because it sounds cute. Create your own reality so you can experience what you want to experience. Like, there's no such thing as right or wrong. There's no such thing as morality. Jesus is not looking at you. Oshun is not looking down on you, judging you for your actions. That guilt that you're feeling in your heart, that's between you and Mayat. Mayat is not even looking down on you. Mayat is in here. So every time you feel a heavy feeling in your heart and feeling some guilt or whatever, it's not real, okay? Because there's no almighty powerful force running this. Something else is running this, but there's also something else that makes sure that other something else isn't getting out of hand, so our realm doesn't become chaotic and unbalanced like it did at the end of Loki. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Create your own reality. Make sure that your actions are aligning with your intentions. If you say you want a man that do A, B, and C, and D, don't get the nigga that got potential, you know what I'm saying? Oh, if you want a CEO nigga, excuse me, I'm monetizing that. If you want a CEO guy, don't date the guy who's at McDonald's and be like, oh, well, maybe he'll get a CEO eventually. He'll get there eventually. No, you have to be conscious of your actions, because if you're not conscious of your actions, you're going to be on a timeline, or what I like to call, you're going to be on a filler episode. You're gonna be on a filler episode in your life, okay? Because you're not making the conscious choice to move the point A to point B of your desires, okay? So make sure that your actions are aligning with your intentions, whether it's from jobs, whether it's from, okay, I want to make this amount of money next year. All right, make sure you are taking the conscious steps to make sure that you're getting there, and so that you can have what you want, except for just being at a job that you stuck and you did it. Now you got to complete a filler episode just to get back on the original timeline. So I really think that's what happened. Somebody's fucking with the timeline. Dolph death was not supposed to happen. That even changed my timeline. For some way, some reason, I truly believe that Dolph was supposed to be a part. Like literally when Dolph died, I really had to figure out what am I supposed to do with my life now? Like, I really start to question everything about life. Like I almost said fuck life. Like fuck this planet, fuck the trees, fuck the wind. That really, his death really destroyed me. And it also made me view money different, okay? I will admit, I do have an obsession with the material, okay? I am a Taurus queen, okay? I got Venus in Taurus. I love material things. I like diamonds. I love money. Probably obsessed with money, okay? I like looking good. I like material things. But after his death, I really start to reevaluate those material things. Not to say I don't value them, but I'm not as obsessed over them as I was. And I still have to figure out why. Because probably because I wanted Dolph's lifestyle and I admired his lifestyle. But I see that you can really be murdered by a lame. I don't know if y'all see his murder, but the nigga's a lame. And that's what makes me even more upset. Looking at who that nigga, like who the guy that shot him, it makes me even more upset. Because this nigga is lame. Like, lame. This nigga look like a square. So, I'm not saying, oh, he should have got shot by somebody bigger and taller. That's not what I'm saying. Because that would be an ignorant thing to say. What I'm saying is, our timeline is shifted. Be conscious. There's somebody that's trying to control. And I do believe when they do try to shift the timeline, your thoughts change too in accordance with that timeline. So if you want something, or if you want an outcome, stay focused on that, because somebody is trying to fuck with reality. And when somebody is fucking with reality, they're gonna fuck with your reality. That's the message I wanted to communicate 3 weeks ago, but I couldn't find the words to. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I thank y'all for watching. If y'all got questions, leave comments. If y'all got comments, leave comments. I'll leave my email, all my information in the description box like I always do. If you want to read it, let me know. Hit me up. I'm still doing those. I'm still doing PDF readings. I changed my format. So if you want to see my new format, please look and email me and my business email. And I got you. But with that being said, rest in peace, King Dolph. R.I.P. Flipper. I love y'all. Please be safe out here. Please stay grounded, because this war is very real. This war is not physical. It's spiritual. It's in the mind, and most importantly, it's in the heart. With that being said, I love y'all. Bye.